welcome back to Too Blessed. Today I am really excited to share with you this little DIY project. I've got some challenges coming up this fall, decorating challenges that I want to take part in, and I've been kind of hunting for some items that I can use for those challenges. And one of them is going to be decorating a 3-tiered tray, which I did not have. And actually, they said in the challenge it could be just a single tier, or it could be a 2-tiered or a 3-tiered tray. And I don't know if any of you have bought a 3-tiered tray or looked for one, but they can get pretty expensive. And we do not have a big budget to spend on decor items. So I wanted to come up with a way that I could have a 3-tiered tray, but of course keep the cost really, really low. So for years I have been making cake stands, and you've probably seen those where people will take like a candlestick and put a plate on top and use that as a cake stand. And so I figured that I could do the same thing and just make it several tiers tall and be able to have a 3-tiered tray. So I went, if you saw one of my previous videos, you should have seen it by now. It was a haul where I showed some items I had bought at Dollar Tree and then also some thrifted items. And if you saw that, you would have already seen this piece here. This is what I'm going to be using as the base for my 3-tiered tray. And I went to the thrift store sort of looking for something like this. I wanted something that was going to be sort of like a basket instead of just a flat plate. And so I found this one at a thrift store for $1. So that was perfect. Then what I'm going to be using for my other tiers, for the second one, I've got this glass plate, and it has a really pretty floral design sort of embossed on the back of it. This plate came from Dollar Tree, but it's been a few years ago, so I don't know if they still carry these, but that's where this came from. And then I also have this other little tray that I showed in that same thrift haul that I got for 50 cents. So that will be the top of my tray. Then what I'm using for the separators are these candlesticks that I had that I also got at a thrift store. I can't really remember how much I paid for them. I've had them for several years, but they're the same and then just different heights. Of course, this one's a bit taller. So I'm going to use this one for the first tier and this one for the top. Now, a little disclaimer, because for the purposes of this video, I am going to be putting this together using hot glue, but that is not what you would want to use for something like this, because especially with the glass items, that hot glue is just not going to hold as well as a stronger glue. So I don't have any stronger glue, and that's why I'm using hot glue right now. I'm going to be getting some of the E6000, and that ideally is what you would want to use for something like this, because it will really hold up to all of the weight that's going to be put on this item once all the pieces are assembled. And then once you start putting decor items on it, that could be a lot of weight. So you're really going to want to use a really, really strong glue. But another good thing about using the hot glue is that you can put this together using the hot glue, and then you can kind of live with it for a little while and see if it's really what you want. And I will be honest, that's what I did with this. I already had this assembled using the hot glue, and I kind of left it like that for a few days and left it here on my kitchen island so that I could make sure it was really the way that I wanted it to be. So that's a little tip for you. If you're not sure exactly how you want your tiered tray to look, you could go ahead and put it together with hot glue, and then you would be able to take it apart if you decided that some piece of it didn't work exactly the way you thought. So I'm just going to put this together real quickly here so that you can see what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to put a bunch of hot glue on the bottom of this first candlestick. And just have to kind of eyeball it to see if we can get it centered. That looks pretty close though. I need another glue stick. And you can see this goes together really quickly, even if you're doing like the E6000, which you'll have to allow a little bit of drying time. And probably what I would do is like glue this first one and leave it sit for a while, and then do the next one and leave it sit and go that way. But with the hot glue, like I said, you can just go ahead and put it together right away, and you'll be able to see exactly what your finished product is going to look like. So just press that on there a little bit. I think I got this one a little bit crooked. But like I said, this isn't going to be the final piece, so it's not a big deal at this point. Okay, sorry guys, things might look a little different. I'm filming on my phone and I just got a phone call. So I had to reset everything back up. I think what I was talking about before that is that if you wanted to make sure these pieces were perfectly centered, I think what you could do is find the center of each of your tier pieces and mark the center, and that way you could make sure that you were gluing right on the center and everything would be perfectly lined up. Now with this tier, since I'm using the clear plate, it's going to be pretty easy for me because I can see the candlestick that's underneath. So I can make sure that those are lined up at least, and that they're the same. Okay. And then the final one is going to be this little silver piece here. Try to center that. I don't think I did very well centering it, but like I said, this is just temporary. So this is what my three-tier tray looks like when it's all put together. I have hot glue strings everywhere. And what I'm going to do, I have over here at the end of my island, I have collected some items from around my house, just some different decorative items. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of decorating on this just to kind of give you an idea. It's not, like I said, this is all just temporary because in a couple of weeks also I'm going to be changing it out to fall decor. So I'm just going to kind of play around with it a little bit, show you what it could look like, and I will be back in a minute to show you the results. All right, guys, so this is what the tier tray looks like after I got done decorating it. Like I said, I just kind of grabbed various items from around my house. You go in a little closer here and I'll show you. Just kind of a few things. So there's the second tier. And then there's the top. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Like I said, I will be, hopefully in the next few days, I will be getting some of the E6000 and take it back apart and put it together the right way. But I am really excited. I'm going to kind of push it back out here in the center. Oops. But I'm really excited to be able to decorate this for fall. I really can't wait to see what it's going to look like. So that's all I've got for today. If you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of fall decor videos coming up in the next few weeks and the next couple of months. And I'm really excited about those. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.